here.
Hey, Kayla.
Hi, Iyanna.
Welcome to Fill in the Blank podcast.
Welcome.
Get away, okay, okay, no place we can go, 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 get away.
Fill in the blank.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another week here at Fill in the Blank podcast. Hello, Iyanna.
Hi, Kayla.
How are you today?
I'm pretty dang. Actually, I'm okay. But I'm good.
Iyanna's frozen.
Look, life is lifing, but it's okay. I'm good. Not Kayla freezing.
You
I know.
froze.
Oh,
I froze.
we didn't freeze, but
It's
Kayla's
you
froze.
I froze?
Yes, it's you. It's not us.
On my end, you froze.
Cause you froze, Kayla.
It doesn't matter. Regardless, we are here. Ariel's. Okay. We in trouble. All right. Today we have a very special guest for the second time. We're bringing it back because it messed up the first time. But we have Kamie Crawford here once again, so graciously blessing us because we lost the audio.
It
It's
happens.
okay.
It happens. It's happened to me now 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, not on
Okay.
my podcast, thankfully, not yet.
Oh, but on someone else.
But 3 different times when I've guested on other people's podcasts, it's happened. And I'm like, is it me? Like, maybe it's me.
honestly,
Am I the
maybe it is you, Kim.
It could be me. Honestly.
That's
People can't
so
handle what I have to
funny.
say. So the universe is like, no, shut this bitch down. She's done.
They're
Right.
trying to fight you. What is that about?
I don't know. It's okay though. We're here.
I'm so dead. I mean, it's
can't-
been a journey to get here, but you know what?
Yes.
It's okay.
It's okay because we made it here. And we're also on a virtual platform. This is the first time we've
For the
done this
first
before
time.
too.
Yeah, this is strange.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. All the girls
This
are
is
not
a strange
together.
I know. It's
know.
weird.
I know.
It's weird.
But
It's okay though.
you learn, you live and you learn and you try to push through and it works. It works. People are going to love it
Mhm.
regardless.
I hope
Yes.
so.
Yes.
Yeah, I hope so. But I do like that we've all just become a little bit more acquainted. There's been more time in
Mhm.
between. So
Yes.
I've already seen you at an event. So
I
it's-
know. That was so crazy. And you met my boyfriend.
I did.
I know.
Okay.
We're just getting
I
closer
did.
and closer as the days go. And Kayla, has the wedding happened since I saw you? Like,
No, girl, we still planning.
oh my god,
Oh Lord, the planning.
We are still planning, but the bridesmaids got their dresses.
Love
Since
it.
I saw you, I have my second dress because I needed my reception dress and I got it. So we are making some progress and some moves. So now it's like down to the nitty gritty, like
yes,
all of the fine details of, okay, what colors are the bouquets going to be and how many of these centerpieces do we need and what is everybody going to eat? So we're at that place now.
ooh, the food
Oh,
part
the
is so
food.
yeah. Look at the tourists, the food for me. It feels like the very exciting part of the wedding planning process.
Yes, I was super excited about the food part, but now I'm kind of sad a little bit because I really wanted a specific type of food that I know now I'm not going to be able to have. So it's okay. We're just,
What is it?
Yeah,
What's
what
the
is
food?
it?
I love Italian food.
Oh,
Yeah.
you can't have Italian food.
Not really because we're booking with the wedding, it's at a hotel and with that comes the package of
Yeah,
them including the food and everything. So, and it just would be really expensive to go outside of that and cater food for all of these people, So
Yeah.
I just had to kind of like chop it up to the game. I was like, okay, we're getting this deal here. And this is just kind of like a compromise that I have to make. But it's just.
So wait, what kind of food is it gonna be?
Iyanna's like, I need to know before
don't know.
before I show up.
I gotta know. I gotta know.
I can't even tell you because I haven't even had my tasting yet. So
Can
once
I come to the tasting?
girl,
You need help?
No.
I got you. I got strong taste buds, bruh.
Yes.
Kamie, do you see
professional.
her being a tourist?
I see it. And you
Oh
know what?
my
I respect
gosh.
it. And guess what? if the food sucks, she will tell you. So you might want to bring her to the tasting or just bring her.
I'm like, what is this crusty, dusty chicken?
Yeah.
What is
I will
this?
tell you because I'm a super picky eater too. So
Honestly, Kayla, you better hope you have time to eat. I'm telling you, like, you don't realize, like, I mean, well, I'm sure you will eventually realize, like, it's a lot going on. Like, there's so much going on.
That's what
let
people
me tell
say.
you something. If there's anything
Yeah.
I'm going to have time to do, I'm going to have time to eat.
She said, I'm
Right.
gonna eat.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm
You
the
know-
bride and I'm going to eat.
Yes.
She said what she
I
said.
decided, I saw this on TikTok. I read an article, aka I saw TikTok, that people were saying that for your wedding, what you should do is you and your spouse go to a separate room before you head into the reception
Love that.
and have your
Love
first
that.
meal together as husband and wife.
Love
Or, you know, whatever it may
Oh.
be. And so that you can ensure that you've eaten and that you've spent that time with your person, because I've heard that once you get into the reception, it's a shit show and
It's
you may not
just-
see them for the rest of the night. And that's not happening. So
Seriously.
sit down and let's
Seriously.
enjoy this meal together as a family.
Hello. I love that. Yeah, that's
Isn't
really
that a good idea?
cute.
Mhm.
Yeah, that is a good idea. I'm going to see what type of things that I can incorporate that are like that, because I know that there are some things that I'm just not going to stand for. But the thing is, I'm going to speak up.
Yes.
So if somebody comes and be like, we need you, I'm going to be like, excuse me.
Yeah.
You see me eating?
Do you see
You
this
see
steak
me
on my
eating?
plate? Don't talk to me until it's finished, okay?
Don't talk to me. I need
Thank
15
you.
minutes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I'm so excited to be your bridesmaid.
Can't wait. I can't wait to hear
Can't
about
wait to be the bridezilla's bridesmaid.
Yes.
She's
I'm
great.
so excited. I'm
Yes.
so excited.
Yes. But okay, when Kamie was here last, and we did this last time, we had such a great conversation, and we're just
did.
going to repeat it because it was so
inspiring.
good. It was
Thank
so
you.
inspiring.
I mean,
And
I loved
I
it.
feel like, yeah, we really need to name the episode Come Be
Are
Inspired.
you inspired?
Yes.
Oh, thanks, guys.
Because it's so good. And I just really want to give you the floor, to give you the opportunity to share your background. I can give a bit of an introduction, but I know that I can't do as good of a job as you can in explaining all of the many hats that you wear.
Child.
But for those of you who don't know, from whatever rock that you have been under for whatever time, this is Kamie Crawford. Okay, she's a queen.
Period.
The one,
So-
the only.
The one, the
What's up?
only. She is a host of all things at this point.
Honestly, it's like you're like Thanos at this
Yeah,
point.
that's like I'm
Yes.
collecting everything like Infinity Stones.
Yes.
I just want to take
I love
everything.
that for you.
And she has truly gotten it out the mud. So
Mhm.
I'm going to let you just share your story. If you can tell people, how did you get your start in TV hosting?
Wow. Well, it was a long road. It wasn't just like any singular path, and I think that that's something that people have to realize when you're chasing a dream. Like wherever you are headed, you have your big picture goal in mind, but whatever roads it takes to get there, it may not look like what you think it's supposed to look like. So you just have to stick it through and like thug it the fuck out, because
Yeah.
it'd be like that sometimes. So
Yeah.
for me, when I was in high school, I always knew that I wanted to be a doctor. I wanted to be a dermatologist. Like that was my path. I was very, very firm in that. And, you know, my senior year of high school, I ended up competing in the Miss Maryland Teen USA pageant. It was my first pageant ever. I had never been in a pageant before, never even watched a pageant before, except one time I was at the nail salon, and it was a Vietnamese nail salon, and they were playing Miss Universe because it was in Vietnam that year. So,
That's such a specific memory. I love
it's
that.
a very specific memory because I remember being like, what the fuck is this? And like, I was like, these women are beautiful, but like, I had never like that wasn't a part of my world.
Yeah.
And the pageant world is very specific and very small and very tight knit. And like most girls who have been competing their entire lives. So by the time I entered the scene, I was competing my state pageant. There were 63 girls in total, including myself. And pretty much, I mean, my entire top five when I won had been competing for 3, 4, 5 years, some of them since they were like babies, like toddlers and tiaras style.
Wow.
And
which is so wild.
It's insane. And in comes me, newcomer, not knowing anything. And I honestly think that played to my advantage because, you know, people like a fresh face, fresh feel. And, I hadn't been kind of indoctrinated in pageantry yet in that kind of way. So I ended up winning that pageant my first try. And then from your state pageant, you go to nationals. So I went to Miss Teen USA and I won that. And from there, you literally pack your bag and the next day you move to New York City. And I had already had in my mind that I was winning the pageant because that's what I had decided that I was going to do. And
can you share this background information? Because last time we talked, you talked about how your mom was such a huge person support to back you up and be like, you're winning this pageant.
Oh, yeah.
And you were like, okay.
My mom I say she's not like a soccer mom. She's not a cheer mom. She's not a pageant mom. She's a whatever you want to do, we're going to do it, mom. But we're going to be like, yes, serious Aries energy. But she's like,
yes,
whatever you do, if you're not good at it, I'm going to tell you. And if you want to be good at it, we're going to be the best at it. Like you have to be the best.
That's so good.
And it really helped me because I remember when I told her that I wanted to do the pageant in the first place, she was like, what the fuck is that? And like, why are we doing that? And like, what's your goal? Like, what are you actually trying to achieve? And I just told her like, oh, my friend told me that it would be fun and I would meet new people. And my mom was like, okay, this is a lot of money. Like, we're not going to be just like doing this so that you can meet fun friends.
Yeah, because what goes into it? Like the hair, the makeup, the dresses.
Everything.
Aren't the dresses really expensive?
It's so expensive. I mean, your one dress could cost you. People sell their cars. People sell people like do crazy stuff to be able to afford these things that will help them get closer to this dream. And, I think my state gown was like $2,500. My nationals gown was closer to 10. Like,
oh my goodness,
it's not a fucking game. And then you have training on top of that. So you have a walk-in coach, you have interview coach, you do like paperwork and like getting all of your documents together so that when you go in the interview room and the judge asks you, so tell me, like, what is it that you love about being a social worker? And you say, I'm actually a dentist. Because your mom put the paperwork together for you and wrote, she's a social worker and she cares about kids and she does this, and in reality, you're a dental assistant. That's a problem. So you have somebody who like helps you really put your life on paper and like talk about the things that you're passionate about. And then you have a walking coach teach you how to walk like a pageant girl, because how you walk in the mall and how you walk on the stage at a beauty pageant is completely different.
Yes.
And then you have like a whole team of coaches, fitness, nutrition, the works, and it costs a lot of money. It's not cheap.
Yeah. There's so many moving parts.
Yes. Yeah. And most people who compete in pageants have a good amount of money because you have to if you're going to keep going. What you can do.
People do this from like childhood?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But you also, Iyanna, win cash prizes too.
Yes.
And so a lot of people invest so that they can win these big cash prizes. Wow. Yeah.
Even if you're a runner-up.
Investment.
Yes. So even if you're a runner-up, you can win cash prizes, scholarship money, like a lot, like pageants have put a lot of women through college. So there's a lot.
Wow.
Yeah. There's a lot that can come out of it, as well as, opportunities in entertainment. People could, to be seen, people spend money on Barbizon and, all kinds of things all the time to be
I remember
able to.
Barbizon.
Child, I don't know if it still exists. Maybe I aged myself.
I almost did Barbizon. And then they started asking for the fee, and my mom was like, "Yeah, no, I'm sorry,
Girl,
we can't afford this."
That's what
I almost did Barbizon.
They would make you
they
feel
made me
so
walk
good.
In everything.
They would make you feel so good. You'd be at the mall, and they would be like, "Have you ever thought about being a model?"
Yes!
And you're like,
They were like, "Oh, we love your walk. We love your look. It doesn't matter that you're so short.
Like,
it's okay." They're like, "Really?"
Yes, it's the best feeling. Like that. Those were in like the America's Next Top Model days. Like, and you wanted to be discovered.
Oh my God, America's Next Top Model.
Yes. I actually sent in a video to America's Next Top Model.
Stop.
I did when I was in college, and Asia recorded that video, and she helped me edit it and sent it in.
Oh,
yes.
Kayla, imagine if you had gotten. Honestly, I'm kind of happy you didn't go on that toxic show.
Me
though.
too.
Yeah,
girl, that would have been traumatic.
It was
when we watched the clips now.
Yeah,
we're like, oh.
It's
definitely
cringy
no one saw
now.
it as an issue then. It's so cringy now.
Yeah. But at the time it wasn't. So,
it wasn't.
Same
Look
with
how our
pageants.
culture shifted.
Honestly, same with pageants.
Mhm.
Pageants used to be so big, and now they're kind
Yeah.
of cringe. And like, I could admit
Yeah.
that.
Mhm.
But anyway, so that was the thing. I went, I competed, I ended up winning. I moved to New York the next day, and you know, the whole time my mom was telling me up until the pageant. The pageant was in the Bahamas, and I remember specifically in the airport on the way to the Bahamas. You know, I was feeling myself. I'm 17. I got my little sash on in the airport.
17.
Yeah, everybody wants
Oh
to take my
my
picture. And, you know, I was like, this is so cute. And like, I guess my mom had realized that I was getting a little too full of
She
myself.
say you're a little big headed right
Yeah,
now.
exactly. So she pulled me to the side and she goes, let me just get something straight with you. Okay. And
Not
whenever
the check. It's like,
whenever my mom says that, just fucking forget it, okay? Because not only is she an Aries, she's Jamaican, so she does not fuck around.
oh my gosh.
She said, let me just get one thing straight with you. We're not going to the Bahamas so you can get a fucking tan. So you come home with the crown or you don't come home at all.
Come on, Mom. Come
guess
on,
what?
Mom. We have a goal.
And
we have a
guess
goal.
what? Because at that point, we had spent so much money, so much time. Like she and I literally would be in the car every single day almost, traveling the entire state of Maryland, which is big as hell, going to all these
Yeah.
appearances and events and like building up, you know, my stamina for this kind of a life. And
Wow.
you know, she's competitive. She was like, this is us. Like, this is
Yeah, she was
we.
like, this is cute and all, but this
Yes.
is not what we came here for.
Exactly. And some people, like, I remember I told somebody that story. And they were like, that's really intense. Like that. No, I need that. I need that. Okay.
I'm looking, I'm
Scorpio
over
me,
here like, yes, Mom.
yes,
Like,
I need that.
she
shit.
did that.
Yeah. So, and it worked. So,
Yeah, I was about to say, look where it got you.
exactly.
Right.
So I win. I moved to New York. And, you know, throughout that time, I had still been thinking, I want to be a dermatologist. I'm going to be a doctor. This is what I'm going to do. This is my goal. I had actually, you get a prize package of a scholarship to the New York Film Academy. So I started acting classes. But the whole time I was in those classes, I was just thinking, I need to be taking my prerequisites so I can become a doctor. This is going to take me like 12 years to be able to get through all
gotta
the
start now.
schooling. And then start my practice. I need to start right now. So I ended up doing half of the year at the Film Academy and then doing the second half of the year at a local college and taking my classes. It was exhausting. It was grueling.
exhausting.
It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. But
It sounds like a lot of pushing and pulling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of tugging on you. Yeah.
It was a lot because I would like go, you know, volunteer all day at a women's shelter and then, you know, have 5 seconds in the afternoon to, you know,
I remember
sign
this.
autographs and be signing 300 autographs. And then I would go into the bathroom of the Miss Universe organization and put my makeup on and go to a gala. And then from the gala,
I remember you telling me all this,
Yes.
how there's like a role that you have to play.
Yes.
It's not just winning and that's it. Like there's a full role.
you are a public figure for
Oh my
the year.
goodness.
And every 30 minutes of your life is planned for you. If you're gonna take a shower, if you're gonna take a shit, if you're gonna go and like get a croissant, it's gonna be on your schedule.
Wow.
Yes.
And you know, Kamie,
Wow.
like as you're saying this though, the thing that just stuck out in my mind is like you've almost been like prepped for the lifestyle that you have right now with the career that you have.
Yes, 1000%. It taught me how to be a businesswoman and like how to represent for a brand that's bigger than myself. Like, you know,
Yeah.
you don't think about that when you're 17. You're not thinking about
Yeah.
how will I represent myself. That's why you have so many teenagers on the internet just saying whatever and
Doing whatever.
being confused why they're not getting hired for jobs because
Yeah.
Even adults. Even adults.
Exactly.
Grown people.
So you learn a certain level of responsibility. And, you know, having a public facing presence, you have to know how to handle yourself. So yeah, I would do all that shit, go to a gala at night, then take the train to Westchester, New York in like the middle of the night and study for my exams and then go the next day to school and then take the train back and then do it all over again. So it was a lot. But through all of that and through all those appearances, I got a lot of experience being in front of the camera. And that was when I realized like, oh, this is something that like when the camera's on me and I have something to say, I love that feeling. But I didn't think that there was like a job to be made out of that, even though I saw Juliana Rancic on E! I saw Lisa Ling, I saw Oprah, I saw all these people, I saw Tyra on, Tyra show. Like I see these people, but I'm not thinking that those are attainable jobs because they're not jobs that you see advertised.
There's like small subsects of like,
and then
like, how does anyone end up in that?
Right. And then it's like, how likely is it that you end up being that person that can break into that field? Because we see so many people that end up in those hosting positions that have previously been able to, have some other type of
Marcus.
Be at home. This is work from home.
Right. But they have some other type of means that has gotten them to that place. Like Ellen DeGeneres, like she was previously a comedian and then she was able to have the Ellen show. So it almost feels like, how likely is it that I would be the person to land in a hosting position?
Yes. But with my mother and the way that she set up, it was going to happen. It was going to happen because my mother is a praying woman and she's like, you're going to be as big as Oprah. And so I had that in my mind when I finally decided to drop, the doctor thing. I was like, actually, this is not for me. I was not succeeding in the sciences when I got to school. It just wasn't, I just had lost my passion for it after I had given up my title as Miss Teen USA, because like you pass it down to the next person, and then started school. It just wasn't for me anymore. I had different passions.
You outgrow it.
I outgrew it. And so I had to come to terms with that. And that was heartbreaking, and thought I was going to lose my shit when I told my parents that I wasn't going to be a doctor anymore.
Yeah. How did they take that? Were they just like, okay? Or were they like, are you sure?
I remember going to the first day of second semester bio. It was like a 9 a.m. class, so I was already annoyed. And I'm in this huge lecture hall. I was at the University of Alabama my freshman year of college, fun fact, because I got into the pre-med program there and I want to be a doctor. So pre-med, I'm going to Alabama.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I'm in class and the instructor, the professor, is at the front. It's this huge lecture hall. Probably, I don't even know. It felt like 1,000 people were in there. And the professor's at the front, and they were like, something like 80% of you in this room will never be doctors.
I hate when they say that. It's
and
like,
that's
wow.
crushing.
Yeah, but then they were like, now let's start the lesson. And I, being the literal person that I am, I said, you are so right. And I got my shit and I left.
Right then.
Right then. I did not wait. I love that. I left. And
that's a Scorpio thing to do. Be like, actually, you're right.
Say
and
less.
I'm out of here. Goodbye.
Say less. I'm done. So I go to the parking lot and I go by my car. I think I probably cried the whole way. And then I get to my car. I wasn't even in my car. I was outside of my car. And I called my mom. And I told her, I was like, I'm just bawling. And she's like, what's wrong? Cameron, talk to me. And I just said, I don't want to be a doctor anymore.
Wow.
And she was like, I said, I don't want to be a doctor anymore. I think I'm going to sign up for communications classes. I want to be a TV host. And she was like, girl, of course. Like, that's what you should have always been doing. Like,
we love mom.
Yeah, of course, because she's on board for whatever you want to do. So
I love that.
She was like, this is going to be the best thing that you could do in your life. Like, I'm so proud of you. I called my dad, and my dad was like, communications? What's that? What are you going to do with that?
You're not going to make any money. You're going to be broke.
Exactly. So what, you're going to communicate? You're going to communicate? And I'm like, yes. Because if you think about it, every single business, everybody has a communications department. Like
everybody.
They know that, but that generation, they're not non-traditional jobs. And especially in a Black household, what? You might as well just tell me that you want to live on this underneath the underpass. Like you're not
pretty much.
You don't have a job. You don't have a career. You don't have aspirations.
Even me telling my parents that I want to be a psychologist, they were like,
no.
You're going to need to get a psychology degree.
Yeah.
They're like, you're not going to make money with that. And I'm like, guys, I just want to help the world. They're like, yeah, but you're going to be broke.
Exactly. They're like, that's amazing, sweetie. You're going to be poor. and we're not going to help you. So, it's just a thing. It's just a thing. And if you know, and like, we just kind of allow them to, I heard what he had to say, and I assured him that I was going to be just fine and I was going to make it. So I ended up moving back to New York, and I just started working. I started just pitching myself for anything. I got a TV hosting coach, Ms. Barbara. Shout out to you. She's the best.
Shout out to Miss Barbara.
Miss Barbara. She changed my life. She truly changed my life. She's my TV fairy godmother, as I say.
Oh, I love that. Just like you're our podcast fairy.
Yes.
Period. Twinkle, twinkle.
And not twinkle, twinkle.
She really gave me the game and like taught me everything, and helped me figure out who I really was behind the mask that I had to put on for the pageant world, because that's a completely different person. She helped me, really identify my point of view. And she's really the reason why I have the I don't give a fuck attitude that you see today, because
I love that.
We absolutely love that.
She gave your purpose some confidence and direction.
Exactly. Because it was always there. I just
Yeah.
had been engulfed in a world that did not appreciate that. It was always pageantry is very you have to see both sides of everything. It's a very Libra world. In pageantry, it's like 50-50. Like, if you have a strong opinion about something, if it's something that is polarizing, do not share it. Like, you see both sides of every issue. And I had to get to a point where I was like, fuck that. Like, I see both sides. I could see maybe how you could have that opinion on your side, but on this side, this is what I believe. And like, that's okay. And that's valid.
Yeah.
So, I just started pitching myself. Some things stuck. And then eventually, I was in New York for 8 years, and I had been hosting some beauty and lifestyle and fashion segments on local news stations in the tri-state. But I felt like I had kind of hit my wall as far as how successful I could be in New York for what I really wanted to do, which at the time was I wanted to be on E! News. Like, that's what I wanted to do. And E! News at the time was only in LA. And so I was like, okay, I'm not succeeding. And at that time, at 25, I was ready to give up, because I was like, I'm not Oprah yet. And my mom said that I was going to be Oprah.
Hello. You're like, I'm waiting to get here and it's not happening. So something has to happen.
I was like, either it's me or it's y'all. So I started looking up like 9-to-5 jobs, and I was like, maybe I'll get a job at a magazine. Like, this is crazy. I can't believe that I'm even thinking that this is for me. Like, I was drinking a bottle of wine a night on the couch, crying, looking up jobs.
Oh my God.
Yes. And I had actually found
that's a tough season to be in.
It was. I was so lost, and I was having my quarter century life crisis. But I ended up,
the thing.
Yes, I ended up finding my best friend a job at a magazine, and now she works for Vogue, and she literally is the director of special events and plans the Met.
Okay.
So, because I found
is amazing.
Child. So it worked out for somebody in that area.
Yes.
It worked out. It definitely worked out. But I was like finding these amazing jobs for other people where I'm like, you would be so good at this, but nothing was hitting for me. And so I said, you know what? I kept getting this feeling and this draw to move to New York. I mean, to LA. I just felt like I needed to be in LA. I didn't actually want to move to LA, but I felt like this pull to go there. And I ended up making the decision. I was just like, fuck it. Like, I can do anything for a year. I will do it for a year. If it doesn't work out, I'll move back. And the week that I had planned my move, I got an email from someone at casting at Catfish asking me if I wanted to come on and co-host.
Within the week.
Literally, they hit
talk
me
about
up.
Alignment and divine intervention. It's just like...
Wild.
It was insane. The email, they had sent me like an introductory email, and then finally they were like, okay, you're going to be flying out on Wednesday to Iowa City to film the episode. Here's all your flight information. That was on a Wednesday. My mom and like my whole family were helping me pack up my New York City apartment literally that like Tuesday. And they were like, you're going to leave on Wednesday. And so I remember crying and going to my mom and being like, I don't know if I can do this. Like everything's happening so fast. And my mom was like, go to Iowa. We will stay here. We will pack your shit. It's going to be great. Like
How old were you at that time?
25.
Wow.
Yeah. And she was just like, we've got this. Like this is.
So was that when you went for that filming for Catfish, was that during the time span when they were testing people out?
Yes.
Trying to see who would stick?
Yes. So this was a guest opportunity episode. And like, I didn't realize that they were actually auditioning people to become the main co-host. Because I remember when the news came out that Max wasn't coming back, I was like, who the fuck are they going to get to replace Max? Because I've been a fan of the show since the documentary came out. Like, I remember watching it, you know, and watching the show in college. And like, I was very much an original Catfish fan.
Yeah.
And, you know, so on that Wednesday, I flew out and we shot Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I flew back from Iowa, and on Monday, my movers came. And it just felt like it was meant to be. And, you know, I was still heartbroken. I was still terrified because I'm moving across the country away from my family.
That's a lot of transition.
It was a lot of transition. And also, I didn't necessarily have a plan. Like, and I'm a planner, Virgo rising. Yeah. I need to know what the fuck is going on. Okay. I decide what I'm going to eat before I go to the restaurant. Like, I need to know.
And so, I'm sure at that point you were so used to it because your life was so heavily planned.
Yes.
That's a good point, Iyanna. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I hadn't thought about it, but yes, I had always had a plan. And this was the first time I felt like I was doing something that was just like, on a whim almost, even though it wasn't, it just felt very unsettling to do.
Because you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Like,
and, you know, Scorpio, I have a control issue. Like, I need to be in control. I need to know what the fuck we're doing. Like, I am not ride or die. I want to know where we're going.
What's about to happen.
What time are we coming back? Who all going to be there? Like, I need to know.
Heavy on who all going to be there.
I need to know. Is there going to be food? Like, you know, is there air conditioning? Yeah.
Yeah.
all of that. So I did it. I went, and within the first, I don't know if it was a month or 3 months, it was a short amount of time. By the time I had moved there, I had my first audition with E. I had booked a show with E that didn't end up happening, but like I did what I wanted to do. And I started guesting on Daily Pop on E, and I was still doing the guest opportunities on Catfish. And so it was like I had all these things coming to me that it just felt like once I finally let go, everything was coming. And I did about 6 episodes as a guest on Catfish, and then they asked me to come on full time. And the rest was history. And that was in 2018, 2019 was when I became permanent. And then as of last year, I'm now co-host of Catfish, host of X on the Beach, and host of Are You the One on Paramount Plus. And then, of course, I have my podcast, Relationshit. It's a relationship advice podcast, and then brand deals and all kinds of shit.
That's a full hand right there, Thanos.
Hello.
I've got.
Don't snap on us.
Okay.
Don't snap on us.
In every color, all right? But it's this was a journey that took me, I mean, it was 7 years up until I booked Catfish. And then that was when I was 25. And so, shit, was 7 plus 5.
Look, don't ask me.
We do not do math here.
12 years. Well, no, I mean, now it's a little different because I've been here for 5 years. But yeah, last year was when I got the overall deal with Viacom and Paramount Studios, and then the 2 other shows. So it takes time, and people see your work and they're like, oh my God, like everything's happened for you so fast. How do you handle?
Yeah.
Child, I've been groomed for this. This is the work.
Literally.
Yeah.
I just love, though, how everything just aligned.
Yeah.
It's been a beautiful growth story for you.
Yeah. Alignment is important, and trusting God, the universe, whatever you believe in, to guide your path and never steer you wrong. Like, I learned to stop questioning God or doubting his timing a long time ago, because
like I'm there.
Yes. If I would have gotten the opportunities then that I got when I got them, I would have fumbled the bag completely. Yeah. I would not have been ready.
That's
It's
so
crazy when you look
crazy.
in retrospect and you see like, okay, now I see
Yes.
how that all makes sense and
Yes.
how everything aligned the way it did.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Ah.
And I think that's the part that's really difficult for people to fully process and understand, because to everyone who was introduced to you during the time that you came onto Catfish, they're like, oh, like she just got this
Yeah.
opportunity with Catfish
like,
and now she's a host. And it's like,
Yes.
no, there was so much prep that went on
Mhm.
behind the scenes that you
Mhm.
all know nothing about.
Exactly. That definitely happened when I first got on there. They were like, "Who's this bitch?" Like, she just even Neve, like, admittedly, it was like when I first came on, he was like, "Okay, so we've got like a beauty queen coming on. Like, who is she?
Oh
like,
my
how does she fit into this show? And like, what is she about to do?" And then very quickly, I could see the doubt in his eyes when we first met, because we started
Yeah.
filming the moment that we first met. So when people see
Oh my
that first,
gosh.
yeah, when people see that first episode of me coming on, that was our first time meeting each other.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, and that was my first time really feeling like it was real,
Like,
because
now
I
I'm
was
about to
so
go back and watch it.
That's what I was
Yes.
thinking. I was like, now I want
I'm
to
about
go
to
watch
back
it
and watch it.
and see what you all's interactions were like then versus what they are now.
It's totally different now, but that first, I could, Scorpios, like I can peer into your soul and I know what the fuck is up. And I remember telling myself, like, I'm gonna show him
Yeah.
exactly.
And you did.
And I did. And that first day we filmed together, that night, I knew that I had gotten him, because he was like, "Do you want to go get sushi?" And I was like, "Yeah, let's go get
Yeah.
sushi." And like, we got to know each other a little bit more. And like, I could tell that he's not the type of person that would do that if he didn't fuck with me and if he didn't like
Yeah.
catch my vibe. And so, for it to only take 6 episodes before because like ultimately, of course, it's a network decision, but it's his show. And like, he has
Yeah.
to do this with somebody. And we've been doing this for a long time. So you have to be with somebody that we are in a working relationship. You guys know
It's a partnership.
it's a
Yeah.
partnership. Like, we have to
Yeah.
be together for 8 hours a day when we're shooting these episodes. We have to be
You
together
have to
for
like each other.
long car rides.
Have to like each other, have
Yes.
good chemistry.
Yes,
Like,
exactly. And so the reason why people see us the way that they do on camera is because this is how we are. So
Yeah.
it's, it had to be the right fit. And so,
Yeah.
when he called me, and he asked me if I wanted to be his co-host, I was like, I'm already am. So this is weird.
Funny that you're calling me. I already knew I had it.
This
So
is strange. I'm pretty sure I was
like that. You were channeling your mom energy
Yeah.
there. You're like,
Yeah.
like I already did.
I was like,
that's what I was
obviously.
going to bring up, because something that I think that you have that a lot of people seek and strive to attain over their lifetime is just finding that sense of confidence in themselves. And I think that your mom has obviously been a big help in instilling that in you by being so supportive and encouraging. And like, look, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it 100% and helping you
Yes.
achieve. But how have you maintained that over the years now that you're in your career and it can be kind of like a whirlwind of, oh my gosh, I'm in this space where now people might not know who I am. And now a lot of people know who I am. How have you remained confident in yourself to be like, I'm Kamie, I'm that girl, and welcome.
Yes.
Yeah, look, teach me.
Yeah.
Teach me.
I mean, I'm in a phase right now, and or a transitional phase, I should say, right now, and I'll get to that. But when I was growing up, I was not confident. Like, I was bullied a lot in middle school and elementary school, like steadily, heavily, jumped the whole 9. Like, it was bad. And it was, I mean, I feel like so many people get bullied, but it was really, really bad. And I really did not love myself because I didn't know that I could. And I had so many people who were so mean to me on a regular basis that I just didn't have an opinion of myself. That was my own. I had their opinions of me that I took on as my own.
You take it on as your own inner voice.
Yes.
Yep.
And when you're a child, like, kids are so fucking mean.
They're
and
just
like,
cruel.
How
They're
are you
cruel.
supposed to know who you are in the 3rd grade? Like, you don't have an idea. You're forming your opinion on yourself based on what you see out in the world. And, you know,
Literally.
now we got social media, but like at the time it was magazines and TV, and like, that's how you're deciding whether or not you're beautiful. And then you have people at school who are bullying you, or maybe you have your parents who are, you know, hard on you or bullying you. Like, people don't think about those things sometimes. But yeah, I was bullied a lot. And then when I went to high school, I finally was like, fuck it. Like, I am the decider of my own destiny. I'm going to decide how I feel about myself from day to day. If I decide tomorrow that I'm going to wake up and be a bad bitch, that's what I'm deciding, regardless of what anyone says. I don't care how you look, how you dress, whatever. If you wake up and you just decide, like I just decided. And
you channeled that teenage angst and
yes, I was like, this is who I am now. And it's a rebrand, and get on board. Like, you know,
get with it or get
I'm
lost.
here.
Get with it or get lost. Like, I just really felt that. And, you know, like, I know that, you know, people have mental health struggles. I was struggling with depression definitely when I was that age or before high school.
Same.
And, you know, I was so just like lost and hurt and confused and struggling with so many things on top of being bullied.
I do
like,
not miss that. Yeah.
do not miss that. Like, daddy issues. There was so much shit.
I do not miss that.
There was so
hormones
much,
on top of it.
Hormones.
Everything felt like the end of the world.
Like,
it's like, oh my God.
It's so much going down. You're growing boobs out of your chest, and like next thing you know, the next
or not.
or not. Like, I remember,
and that's a whole nother problem when you're not, and you're
that's
like,
a whole nother problem. I remember when everybody in my grade was getting their period, and I hadn't gotten mine yet, so I would literally stand in my bathroom with my pants down, looking at the floor, like, is it gonna happen now? Like,
am I gonna be a woman?
Can I get it now? And like, everybody else is happening for it. It was a rite of passage, and I wanted it so bad. I don't know why.
I did too, though. I did too. And then when it happened, I freaked out for a second. I was like, what is this?
Yes. You're like, what the fuck?
But it's definitely it's something that we all I can think for a small second desire, because you're like, oh, I'm a woman now.
Yes, I'm a woman.
You're like, I'm grown.
I'm grown now. Like, it changes your life.
You can have that period back.
Yeah, you can have it back.
Take it.
You can have it right back. As soon as I'm done having kids, God willing, take this uterus right on out.
Yes.
She will go. I don't need her for shit. Okay. She has not served me well so far. But you know, you have all those things going on top of being bullied. It was a lot. So I had just made the decision that this is how I'm going to live my life. This is how I'm going to feel about myself. I'm going to dictate how I feel about myself. Nobody's going to tell me shit, period.
Hello.
And that was just how I decided to live, and it stuck. But now I'm in a place where I was literally talking to my therapist about this yesterday. I'm in a place where, yes. And Iyanna, I feel like you could maybe give me advice on this. But I am now at a place where I'm in a different phase of my life than I was before. Before, I used to love doing things alone. I loved going places by myself. I loved going to the mall by myself. I loved going to Target by myself. And now I'm in a place where I am 80% more recognizable than I was before.
Yeah.
And so where I used to love doing things alone, now doing anything alone gives me anxiety and stress.
Anxiety. Yeah.
Tremendous anxiety for me, because I'm already a very private person.
You're even bigger than I am. So
girl,
I can't even imagine.
Everybody watch Love is Blind. Okay. So, and everybody.
Iyanna don't recognize me with my hair, though.
Really?
Iyanna has a distorted self-concept of who she really is, and we constantly have to remind her, like,
I understand.
On one of the most popular shows on
I do forget.
Netflix. I mean, I forget, but then when we go in public spaces and people react the way they do, I'm like, well, I get it.
Yes.
Like, then I'll be shocked. I'm like, oh, okay.
Yes. But I can relate, because I feel the exact same way. And like, I was talking to my therapist, and I was like, I think I'm delusional. And she was like, yeah. And like, your therapist does not tell you that you're delusional. But my therapist, that's my girl, Kelly, shout out to you. She's been with me since before this super big incline.
Oh, okay.
Wow.
So she's seen me kind of through the process. And, you know, I started working with her during the pandemic when we were filming all of those virtual episodes of Catfish that are now on Hulu, and then all of the other episodes. So people were binging the show during the pandemic. So when we got out of the pandemic, whereas before the pandemic, I was, you know, I would get recognized here and there. Once the pandemic ended, I'm getting recognized with my mask on. I'm recognized with sunglasses on. I'm
Wait, with
recognized
your mask on too?
Yes, girl. Somebody pulled
They know
over
who
their
you
car when I was walking with my mask on
Kamie, stop.
to go
I
pick
hate
up
when they do that
to
because
go-
it freaks you out.
to go
It's like,
pick
bro,
up
you
a
about to
food
kidnap me?
order. He said, I can recognize you with your mask on. My wife and I love Catfish. Can I take a picture?
Oh no.
And I am such a person of like, even though, I had this whole I'm a bad bitch conversation, I am still a very humble person. And I have immense gratitude for everything that I've been blessed with.
Same.
But what I'm
Yeah.
realizing is I can say I have so much gratitude for everything I've been blessed with. And I'm still not adjusted to this life that I guess
Two
I
truths
signed
can't
up.
exist.
Two truths can exist.
Mhm.
I'm still not fully adjusted to this life. It is very daunting for
But
me.
it's not normal. It's not a
It's
normal
not.
experience. And that's why I say all the time, like, I'm living a very human experience very abnormally.
Yes,
Like,
yes.
like, technically I'm in my career. Technically now I'm in my career and stuff. But like it comes with all this stuff. Like people stopping you and people recognizing you and people
Yes.
being in your business.
Yes.
It's just like,
And you have people who see that, and I've never wanted to be like, oh, woe is me, I'm so popular, everybody wants to take a picture with me. That's so sad. Like, fuck you. Like, nobody wants to fucking nobody wants to hear that.
I want to hear you complain about
Nobody
that.
wants to hear that. And like, people are very much like, that's what you asked for. And it
Literally.
is. It's something that
It
comes
is.
with the territory. But with any job, what I'm realizing, and it's a transition, but with any job comes things that you don't want to do.
Yeah.
Even somebody who works in the Department of Sanitation don't want to clean out shit all the time.
Yeah.
Like, you may be cool with the trash, but when it comes to the shit, don't nobody want to pick up no shit. Like, you know, so like there's always something. If you're a baker, like, you may love
Somebody wanna
baking
clean them
cakes.
dishes?
You don't want to clean dishes. You don't want to get burned.
At
Like,
all.
these are things that come with every job that are not necessarily the most amazing parts of the job. And while it is amazing to have such an incredible fan base, it's a blessing.
It's
I'm
a
on a
blessing,
show
yeah.
that we can produce. After I joined, we signed 100 episodes. Like, it's unheard of.
That's so amazing.
I love that.
It's crazy. Like, and
after all these years, it's still such a major show. It's like a movement. I still watch Catfish to this day. And I'll ask my friends like, oh, like Catfish. And they're like, you still watch Catfish? I'm like, yes, you don't?
Yes.
Like, I'm confused.
Exactly.
What is going
Everybody's like, how is this still on? And thankfully it is, like, job security.
Right.
Hello. So like, I'm very grateful, but at the same time, I am trying to adjust to the feeling of being watched by people. Like, one thing I love is when people actually come up to me and say hi, because I know when you know that it's me.
Yeah.
So instead of you walking around me like a shark around a minnow, I need you to just,
because you know that you can recognize when they know who you are.
I know
you can
because they
see it
just
in their
look.
eyes.
Yes, their eyes.
I've been
It's
out
a
with
glimmer.
Iyanna so many times and they're just like staring and I'm like, ew, that's weird.
Or they're like quickly like, or you can see them whispering. You're like, oh my God.
Or I've become so hyper aware to like hearing like, oh my God, that's, or
there's like a hyper vigilance.
Yes. When they make that sound, and like,
I almost rather them come up to me, just come up to me and just like say hi,
just come
ask
to
for the
me.
picture. Sometimes I'll see them like, you want a picture?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yes.
And I go, okay, yes, it's fine. We can take a picture.
Because it takes
They're so
away the
sweet.
level of paranoia and uncertainty for me of like, are they staring at me because I have something on my face? Or are they staring at me because they love the show that I'm on? I need to know. Tell me.
Right.
Yes.
So,
oh my God, yes.
It's so funny though, because my therapist was like, do you have somebody else that's like in your similar industry that had a similar experience that you can talk to? And I was like, half the people in LA are fucking happy to be recognized. They can't wait to be recognized.
They don't get it.
And then there's us. And then there's us.
And then there's us. And it's like, it can be scary sometimes. And the good thing about being on a show like ours is people are pleasant. Like, they're excited to see you. You're not going to come across people who are like, fuck you, Iyanna, you bitch.
They're pretty kind.
They're pretty kind.
I did have somebody come up to me. I was so disappointed in you when you said yes. And I was like, oh.
That's when you
the shock. Like, what?
I don't even know what to say. I was like, oh, okay, I'm sorry I disappointed you. And I'm like, what about my business?
First of all, write it down in your diary, sis. Why are you telling me that?
Right.
Why are you telling me that? Put it in
what
your
is
group
supposed
chat.
to be the response? You want me to say, "Oh, I'm so sorry"? I don't know.
I was confused.
I'm sorry
like,
I disappointed
okay.
you, person that I don't know. Fuck off.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But for the most part, people are pretty kind.
Yes.
They're kind.
Yes,
Yeah.
they are.
Kind, but it does make you hyper vigilant. It definitely
Mhm.
does. Even just me going to the grocery store, like
Girl.
it makes me very hyper vigilant.
It happens.
How do you
all
feel
the
like you
time.
deal with it, Iyanna? If you could sum it up to help Kamie.
Yeah, help me. Headphones.
I'm not even gonna lie. These headphones. These headphones.
And you know
these
what?
Headphones.
Yes, but coming from living in New York for 8 years, I learned that having the headphones can sometimes be the reason why something bad happens to you safety-wise, because if you're not listening to what's going around you and you got these noise cancellation headphones on, you may not know when a car is coming towards
I
you.
keep these things on transparent mode. So most of the time I don't have music playing. I don't have anything playing. They're just on transparent. They're just on.
Yeah.
It's just like a symbol, like, don't talk to me right now.
Yes.
Not right now. Even though people still, I've had someone like reach out to me and like touch my arm and go, and they go, "Hi, you're Iyanna." I'm like, "Yes," and I have to like take them off.
Sorry.
But what? What'd you say?
Meanwhile,
for the most
nothing's
part, like, I
playing.
don't have anything playing. It's just like a symbol. It's like a sensory thing at this point.
Yeah, like,
But I will
leave me
say these
alone.
headphones. Also, I can't take away the hypervigilance. I am just like constantly looking around, like just making sure like nothing's happening or like people aren't looking at me. And if they are, then I'm looking and I'm making sure they're actually staring at me and go, "Hi," and they go, "Hi," and then I just like, it's like, let's just get this over with.
Let's get it
I just
over
need you to
with.
I need you to talk to me. Just talk to me. Don't stare.
Yeah.
Or secretly record me. I hate when they secretly
Oh,
record.
yeah.
That's such a violation.
Yeah, it is. It is. And, you just hope that people are respectful. For the most part, people are very
For the most part,
respectful.
they are, yeah.
Yeah. But it's still something I'm having to get adjusted to. My first step, though, is I'm basically right now from my therapist and from, this is going to sound very LA, but like my psychic human design expert who comes on my podcast.
Yeah,
it is.
Listen, okay, I had to text her because she is such a gift. Literally, her name's AC Brown. If you don't know her, you got to follow her.
AC
She is
Brown.
incredible.
Yeah.
And she basically told me, like, I'm in the stages of grief right now. I have to mourn the loss of the person that I used to be.
Yeah.
And she asked me, I'll tell you what she told me to do if you need any help, Iyanna.
Look, help me.
She said,
She's like, "Please."
she told me that I need to write a letter to my former self, thanking her for getting me this far. Because right now she's struggling with trying to keep me safe and still trying to make it. And we've already made it. So now I need to thank her.
I like that.
And thank her, let
Just
her know
embrace.
that like I've
Yeah.
got you. I'm still gonna keep us safe. We're gonna be okay. And move forward. But it's a process, and I still have not wrote my letter because I'm like,
it's such a great
letter.
It's such a great technique to use, especially in transitional spaces. I did that when the pandemic was going on and I was trying to release just like things. I think actually I wrote the letter to my old self when it had to do with relationships, because that was when I had just came into my relationship with Marcus, and I was trying to shed all of the past experiences that I had that were so negative that were preventing me from being extremely open. And I think that it's a great technique to use. I actually tell my students to do that whenever they're in transition. I'm like, I want you to write a letter to yourself, or I also want you to write out pros and cons of what are the things that are great about this? What are the things that are bad? And then we can find ways to cope with the things that you're dealing with, So writing that letter is such a great release. It really does just remove a lot of that angst and just all those negative emotions that you're just harboring. Like right now, they're just harboring inside of you. And people just don't.
They're festering.
They are.
It's really crazy.
There.
I think people don't really understand. And I will say that me and Iyanna becoming close really helped it like click inside of my head. I just would never do anything weird like that. Like what I see other people doing, I'm like, this is just weird. Like, why are you being weird?
Because you think because we consider ourselves quote unquote normal people.
Yes.
But I will say that like I I forget how invested people can be. And it's okay for people to be invested. Okay, the level of degree some people are is just like a little too much. Like, when they like decide to like message me crazy stuff. But like for the most part, like you kind of, because we wouldn't do that. I mean, I don't know though. If I saw Kamie in public and I wouldn't stare, but I'd be like, hi Kamie.
But see, my thing is I wouldn't even speak. Like, I'm the type that I would just be like, and then I would go home after like, guess who I saw today?
Yes.
And so it's so crazy to me when I see the way that people react, because I'm like, even if I didn't get it and I didn't have this up close view of like what it looks like being close to somebody that's in the public light like this, I just could never imagine myself acting like this. Like, this is crazy. So I think people just have such a hard time humanizing you all, you know, because they watch you in their TV and they live in my TV screen. It's like, no, this is a real person and they are going through real things. And this is just their job. Like, this is what they have done with their lives. And yes, it is very public, but that doesn't mean treat them less than or different than what you would treat other people. It's just,
Right.
I think
crazy.
my therapist was also saying, because I've been lucky enough to build a career just based on being myself. And Iyanna, your career and the reason why people know you is for who you really are. And because you're not playing a character, there's no separation. So my therapist was like,
the hard part.
You have to create the separation in a certain kind of way. So my therapist was but my therapist was like, the Kamie or the Cameron, because that's my legal name. She's like, the Cameron that's with her family, that hangs out with her boyfriend, that loves her dog, that loves her family, that Cameron is not the Kamie that people know, because they'll never be there with you in those moments. They are with you in the moments that they see you. And so in your mind, creating that sense of like, okay, this person is really excited to see me because they're excited to see, because when they're so excited, sometimes I'm like, it's just me.
It's just
but
me.
just me is who they know. You know, it's not who my family knows. It's not that version of me. So of course they're going to be excited. Of course they're going to be freaking out, because that's the you that they know, that they idolize, that they love. And like that I can appreciate too, without being like, without dumbing myself down almost, to be like, but I'm just this. Like, I can be both, and it's okay.
I need to create that separation. I say all the time about how like it's difficult for me to find like a work-life balance because I am my brand. Like I literally am my, people are like, oh, what do you focus on? Like, and I'm like, no, you don't get it. Like it is me.
It's me.
And I happen to like have these specific interests, and I can do a brand deal here or there. Like it could be anything because my brand is me. And that's so hard to like separate from like, you know, private me and like public me, because and also like I pride myself, and it's I took the hard path, but I say all the time, like I want to try my best to be as authentic as possible. And that requires sometimes a lot of transparency about like where I am and who I am. And that makes it even more difficult. And then having a podcast, like I'm constantly unveiling things about myself to people. So they genuinely feel like they know me, and they do to a degree. But not all of me.
So it's so crazy because I just told Asia and Shartice, they didn't know this. I think I told you, Iyanna, but I had my first experience of somebody recognizing me out in public.
Did you really?
Where were you?
I did. I was out at it was like a club in Chicago, and it was in
club.
The
club of all places. I know you're
girl. And you know I'm already scared to be there. So
oh my God.
I was there with my fiance. His brother was in town and he was DJing at this event. So I'm walking. I'm like, okay, I'm about to just go to the bathroom. So I'm with Marcus's brother's girlfriend, and we're walking to the bathroom. And this girl literally grabs me and she's like, "You're Kayla from fill in the blank."
Wait, she literally grabbed you?
Like she kind of grabbed my arm. She's like, "Oh my gosh, yeah." She's like drunk.
It's always the drunk.
And
it wasn't.
I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't rude though. It wasn't rude how she did it, but she just embraced me and she just like is hugging me, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" So this is my first time ever having this happen. So I'm just like, "Oh, like." This is endearing. Like,
Yes.
Kami's like, buckle up for the
Buckle
ride.
up.
But she's like, I literally listen to you and Iyanna faithfully. And I was listening to you all on the way here. And I just love you guys and all of this stuff. And it's just like, it's so crazy, that concept of people feeling so connected to you.
Yeah.
And you don't know them, but it's just like, oh my gosh, but I love you for supporting me. Like, thank you. This is like, you're part of the reason why we are still going, because you listen faithfully and you love us and you listen to our podcast. Like, this is crazy. So,
wow, Kayla.
I thought I told you this.
Look, I have a terrible memory. You might have. Look, I feel shocked all over again.
But it's just, so I got literally a glimpse at what you all are talking about. And I just can't even imagine on the magnitude, because it's like, I've been out in public with Iyanna when they're just like being weird. And I'm like, okay, they know you, but they don't know me. You want me to say something? Like, I'll say something.
And Kayla is very much so like that.
Yeah.
I will, because it's like, stop being weird. And I will tell them, you're being weird right now. Like, you really need to stop, because it's scary.
Yes.
Like, you're scaring me.
Yes.
Kamie, did we tell you about that incident? Me, Kayla, and at the time, me and Jared were still together. So me, Kayla, Jared, and Marcus, we went to a specific place, and there was like
Fremont.
brunch.
It's
Fremont.
like a big brunch club spot in Chicago.
Okay.
And people were drinking. Like, there were a lot of drunk people there. As soon as we walk in, immediately people are like, oh my God. And this was around the time the show had just come out. And this woman came up to me. She was touchy. She was like, oh my God. And touched me right here.
Kamie, wait.
She was touching on Jared.
This is when we first came in, though. So as soon as we walk up the stairs, the woman comes up to her and puts her hand out and touches Iyanna on her chest. I'm like, so I'm just looking back and forth, and I'm looking at Iyanna like,
and I was just smiling. I was like, it's okay.
And I'm mortified.
Like, she said, my bosom sister. That is terrifying.
There was panic in my eyes. But it got worse. It got worse. Because there was this woman with her friends, and you can tell she was very drunk. But I can see her in my peripheral, and I see her go like this.
Oh, no.
And her friend grabs her. Her friend grabs her, and she's literally reaching in slow motion out to Iyanna. I'm like, I'm like, you want me to say something to them? She's like, no, it's okay. I said, it's not okay. I'm getting pissed for her. No, I'm still mad. I'm sorry, because we could rant about this, but I'm still mad. The black woman that touched in your hair. That was the final straw for me.
She came hair? Up to me, and a black woman. She came out to me,
touched in her hair,
like, God, your hair. And I was like,
see, I'm not really with the physical touch. Like, people, for the most part, people will be like, can I hug you? And
yes.
I want to hug you. Sometimes I'll reach out and I'll be like, can I hug you?
Yeah, like, hug me.
But if you just come up to me and put your hands anywhere in my vicinity, please know that I do fight, and I will.
But you know what? Here's the thing. This is the counselor in me listening to you all and what you're going through. I really feel like what you do really well, Kamie, that Iyanna is starting to do sometimes is setting boundaries because of the fact that now you have a community. Iyanna, yours is shifting, and it's really like changing into a solid group of people. So anybody that would mostly recognize you at this point are people that you would set boundaries with to let them know, when you see me, this is how you treat me. You know, I am human. So when you see me in person, do not treat me like I'm a character in one of your TV shows.
I'm a real ass bitch. I need you to approach me as such. Thank you very much.
Hello?
I'm getting used to it now. I think it clicked for me when we were out. I'm about to reveal myself a little bit. We were out, and I was with a guy that I've been talking to, and we were out in public, and immediately we were there. I know, right? We were there before everybody else, and this is the first time he was meeting all of them, my friends, and I see this woman, and it looks like she's recording me, but I couldn't tell, but it made me paranoid immediately because then she kept shifting her eyes to me, and I just saw her phone in my direction. But I couldn't tell if she was taking a selfie or not. But it and I was high as hell. I'm not gonna lie. And I went to the bathroom, and she followed me in the bathroom. And when I came out, she was still there, like fake washing her hands or something. And again, I'm high as hell, so I did not respond. But she goes like, "Oh my God, I loved your character on the show." And my high ass brain was like,
character.
Did she just say what she said?
Character.
And I go, And I started slowly inching toward the door. I was like, nice to meet you. And I just like left. And then as soon as I got to the table, I said to the guy that I was with, I was like, I'm too high for this shit. And I sat down.
Yeah.
But that's when it clicked for me, like how some people see me and that I do need to create some form of boundaries or at least speak up when they say certain things like this. Oh, I'm not a character, you know, but now I'm more prepared after that interaction because I was just like,
I love your character. This is not, I am not
character.
Brandy playing Moesha, bitch. This is me.
This is real life.
This is real life.
That was my real life.
Yeah. What?
Yeah, but a lot of people have difficulties with that concept. So, but Kamie, I thank you so much for sharing your story with us again. Before we move on to the next segment, because I want to give you all to talk about the moment that you guys got to see each other at the live show.
Yes.
But how has this transition been for you? Last time we checked in, I know that it was a little more difficult with you now hosting 4 shows, which is quite a lot. So how have you been coping and dealing with the process of being the host of so many different well-known shows?
I mean, I think it's easier right now just because most of my focus is on Catfish and my podcast because I haven't heard yet whether or not we're getting greenlit for another season of Are You the One or X on the Beach yet. It takes some time for them to put together the numbers. And I think they're trying to figure out like logistics. And so right now I feel like I'm kind of in limbo. Like I haven't been able to make any summer plans or anything because I don't know what the fuck is going to happen. So, you know, that part of it is a little frustrating just because like I'm trying to go to Europe. Like I'm trying to.
You want to plan.
I'm trying to shake my ass.
Now you're like,
I'm trying to shake my ass on a yacht.
And Europe. Oh, come on.
And
take me with you.
Yeah. So right now I'm just kind of like, okay, like what's happening? So, you know, that part of it is a little stressful, but I think I'm getting better at figuring out the balance because when I focus on the things that I can control, which is like making sure that I'm in the gym regularly because apparently that boosts my serotonin and makes me feel good, which...
Look, tell me if it does or not. Tell me if I need to try it out.
It works. It does work. I hate it for me and my edges.
Because it requires discipline.
It requires discipline and it requires sweating, which I hate, but it does make me feel good. So that plus therapy regularly. I have to have my therapy sessions every week, even if I'm on the road.
Like every week?
Every week. I cannot put it off. Because sometimes like then shit just builds up and then I got to download her on everything that's happened and then that could take the whole session.
By that point,
I need to have a week-to-week conversation. So
I need to move to bi-weekly because I'm basically updating her. And at that point, I would have already processed something.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm telling you this in retrospect.
Or I would have already made the bad decision. So like I need to talk to you about this now.
Especially me.
Yeah. So I have that, and then meditation music is something that I've been incorporating just to not have music with words because music, sounds, words, they can draw up memories and things like that are very distracting from day to day. And sometimes I just want my brain to be silent.
Yeah.
So I'll listen to meditation sounds that, you know, I'll do my skincare to, or I'll, you know, take showers to, or drive to the gym to sometimes, like just to be fucking quiet for a minute.
I'm soaking this up. I'm soaking it up.
Yeah. I try to do that at least 5 to 10 minutes every day. So that has been helpful. So like creating things. And now that I'm having my new crisis of being famous, so they say, and like trying to acknowledge the level of celebrity that I have now, I'm realizing that I need something that I can control that is a physical activity other than working out, because those things, all those things that I mentioned feel more like maintenance, and I need something that's more activity based, that's fun.
Yeah, so, something like a hobby, like something that you can pick up.
So my boyfriend suggested like doing pottery classes together, which I'm dying. Like I can't wait.
I want to do a pottery class so bad.
Yes. I feel like pottery that would just
is really
be so
cool.
nice. And like my therapist was like, well, you know, if there's a chance that you could be in a pottery class that's filled with people who may know you, like maybe go for like the older people hour, like when the 70-year-olds are going. I'm like, yes, although they watch Catfish too. That could be an option, or, you know, private class. Like I just need to do something physical with my hands.
Yes.
So
I love that.
That's how I'm balancing right now.
Yeah, I'm trying to do I haven't got a chance to start it yet, but I want to pick up like crocheting or knitting. It's something I could do, so then I could sit sit on the couch and watch TV and just like make little things. And I think it's really good for our mental health to just have something, especially when you're creative, something that you can do that's not attached to an obligation, you know, just something you could do for fun.
Wait, I want to show you guys. I picked up textured art. I made this.
Did you?
She did. Yeah.
I did.
Stop it, because I've been seeing those like on TikTok and I need some art for behind my couch. And I've been like, I want to
just do it.
But it's so expensive to buy that shit from like.
It's not that.
Well, like if you're buying a piece from an artist, like that's textured art.
Make your own.
Just make it.
My own.
And then you could paint it and it's just a whole therapeutic.
Proud of it?
Yeah. It's a whole therapeutic activity.
That's what I need.
Yes. I made this.
Yeah.
Come on.
Textured art. Yes. Period.
Okay. So now I really want us to head into Fill of the Week, which is the fact that you guys were at the live reunion that we were all sitting at home mad about, but y'all were there.
Yes.
So
were you? Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so what was it like? Just share.
I was about to ask, Kamie, were you actually watching it? Because I realized, because it took like 45 minutes in for them to eventually start. And at that point, I was like, all right, well, let's drink, because these free drinks at the bar, you know? And then it was like at least 15 to 20 minutes into the reunion. I look up and I'm like, oh, it started. Oh, okay.
Yeah, here's the thing. So, you know, we all got there at a certain time. And when it was delayed for the world, it was also delayed for us. So I'm like, I had already posted that I was going, so I'm getting a flood of DMs. My friends are texting me. My sisters are texting me. What the fuck is going on with the reunion? Like, tell us like what's happening. And I'm like, bitch, it's not on for us either. Like we're all just sitting here. And at this point, the open bar was really open, so everybody was wasted. I feel like once
everybody was drunk, I was. I know I was tipsy by that point.
I had only had 3 drinks? I don't know, but I felt a little drunk.
I had like 2 to 3 shots.
I was like,
I'm not even gonna lie, I did. Yes. It was like 2 to 3 shots.
Yes. So when we saw each other on the walk-in, and then we saw each other like 30 minutes into everybody being like, what the fuck is going on?
Yes.
And nothing had changed. So everybody was getting lit. And then it starts.
I love that. I love that for y'all.
It finally started. And like 20 minutes into it, my boyfriend gets a massive migraine. And I didn't even know he had a migraine because he was kind of sitting behind me because of the fact that it was so crowded where we were. And like it was impossible to get seats. But I just had a feeling like it's time to go. And I looked back at him and I was like, do you want to go? And he's normally a person who's like, no, like, let's stay. But he was like, he just kind of like nodded his head yes. And then I find out he has this massive migraine. I'm like, look at me being so connected to you. We're so
Come on.
You should marry me.
So I know you don't even have to say it.
So we left and I still have not finished.
Still haven't seen the reunion?
No.
I had to watch it when I got back home because I was like, I don't know what was I saw like a moment or two, but like I had to watch it when I got home but people also assumed that we were in there with them. And I was like, no, we were in a completely different building.
But I don't know about you.
An actual live audience.
I assumed that we were going to be a part of that live audience.
I assumed too. And I was like, oh, there's a screen?
I was like, it's a watch party.
They invited outside people that were not like the people that would have the celebrity status that you all were talking about? Like, were they trying to keep y'all separate, or?
I don't know.
They did keep us separate.
They did.
I know, but I'm saying, was there the live audience? Were they just like normal folk? Like,
yeah, they were.
I think
there were like tickets and stuff, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think there were like tickets and stuff. And so there was like, of course, like the fan audience. And then we were in, I keep calling it a reality star TV prom because that's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Because there were Bachelor Nation people in there. There was Netflix people. There were like interviewers and hosts. And it was just like wild. I was like, oh, this is so cool.
There were so many people. There were so many people that I was like, oh, I know that person from such and such. I know this person from blah, blah, blah.
Cool.
It was cool.
Who were you most excited to meet, both of you? Like when you met them or you saw them, you were like, oh my gosh, that's
Iyanna.
Honestly, when I saw Kamie, I said, oh, Kamie. Oh my God, Kamie.
Iyanna. basically. I mean, yeah.
Honestly, everybody else, I was like, oh, I was just shocked that people were there. I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
It was pretty cool seeing people that I followed on Instagram who followed me back that I had never met in person or really have a conversation with. We just follow each other and like each other's stuff.
Yeah.
So that was cool too.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I follow you. And they're like, yeah, I follow you.
Yes.
So it was really cool.
I like
so
seeing
cool.
last season's cast of Love is Blind.
Yeah.
What's that girl's name? Lord have mercy. I'd be forgetting
Alexa.
Yes, Alexa and her
I knew
man.
immediately, yes.
I was so excited to see her.
Brennan, yes.
I didn't say anything to them, but I was like, oh my God, that's them.
You should have that. They're so welcoming. They're so nice.
They were so
nice.
cute. They were so cute. And then, one person I was gagged to see was Cole.
Oh yeah. Oh, I actually got to talk to Cole. Me and Cole were like talking throughout the night. Like he's actually pretty cool.
I was
chill.
gagged. First of all, he's so cute. He's so cute. He's short. He's short.
He's like he has those husky eyes.
Oh
Yes. He's too short for me, and also
He is. I didn't realize he was that short.
yes, and
How tall is he?
He can't be. He has to be like
5'10", maybe.
I was gonna say like
5'9".
5'9", 5'10".
So just like average type.
Yeah.
height.
Yeah, just average height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But he was so
but everyone
cute.
in Love is Blind is so tall. I'm
Yeah.
surprised they find all these tall men, but everyone's like 6 feet and up. I'm like shocked by that.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask him so many questions about the cutie gate and all the other things.
Oh,
But
dear God.
I didn't. I was like, this is not my space.
He was so
I'm a guest.
overwhelmed.
I am a guest in this
Bless
house.
his heart. He was so overwhelmed. He was just sitting in that chair just eating popcorn. He's like, I don't know what's going on, but like I'm just here. Man.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah. There were
Bless his
a
heart.
lot of sightings. There were a lot of people. It was
there were a lot of sightings.
It was cute. It was a cute moment, and I love that they kept the bar open.
Shoot,
but also
me too.
glad that they did not have us in the recording because everyone was too drunk. Did you hear me?
We
Did you hear me
were
yell out during the child?
What did you yell out?
What did you say?
I didn't even
At what
realize.
moment?
I didn't even
At what
realize
moment?
that I had done it until I heard people's reactions to what I had
At
said.
what moment?
It was when fucking Kwame was talking about Chelsea had said a whole thing about, whatever. And then he said, if I may. And I said, no, out loud. It was so loud that people started laughing. And I was like,
You said, uh-oh.
I was like, okay, bitch, you're not at home, like live tweeting this. Like you're not live Instagramming this right now. You're in a room
so
full
dead.
of people.
I am so dead.
Full of your peers and his.
Oh my God.
Please get your life. But yeah, it was a
the
funny
only
moment.
the only moment I remember being so reactive to, because again, I wasn't paying attention to a lot of it, and I was just talking because I was so tipsy. I was like, blah, 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 blah. But there was only one moment, and it was when Marshall said something about Jackie having a strong jawline. I said, oh my God. And I was just like, oh my God. And that's the only moment I remember being so reactive to.
He is a Virgo.
I said, okay, now, Marshall.
what can you do? He's a Virgo man.
Oh, dear God.
Yes.
Yeah, well, on this end, it was an absolute shit show.
Mhm.
I was sitting here on my couch ready. I had my wine ready.
I know.
Like,
Everybody was
Bachelor
prepared.
Monday, and I was just like, this is really
Not Bachelor
sad.
Monday.
Yeah.
Look,
Yeah.
Bachelor Monday don't fail though. Netflix, they're gonna take a little hit for this because that was
They did take a hit.
They
Their
did take a
stocks went down
hit.
for this.
Yeah.
A huge hit for
But you
this.
know what?
Yeah.
I've hosted one reunion show. It was for Issa Rae's show Sweet Life on HBO.
Mhm.
And I hosted the reunion
No.
for that. And first of all, reunions should never be live. There's no need
That's
for
what
a
I
live
said.
reunion.
They just shouldn't.
It
They're
takes
chaotic.
so long. When we did that
Yeah.
reunion, I think we started filming at 3 and we wrapped about like 9 p.m. And by
Oh,
that time,
wow.
like nobody's eating food, everybody's drinking because like there's
Wow,
champagne
yeah.
toast going on. And like it takes a long time to get to the nitty gritty of like what you
Yeah.
really need to get to the core of.
Yeah.
And it takes time for people to warm up and want to share things and drink a little
Agreed.
bit and then really get
Yeah.
aggressive. Like, those things, it takes time. So we don't need any live reunions.
We don't.
That's what I
Okay,
said.
last thing I want to ask you all about this. If you want to share, what do y'all think about Vanessa
About
Lachey?
Vanessa, I knew you were going to say it. I want to know about Kamie, because Kamie, you're
Yeah,
a
because
host
Cammie's a
yourself.
host.
You're a host yourself. How How did you feel? Because I have an opinion, but I want to hear from you first.
Yes. Vanessa is my pageant sister from Christ. She was also Miss Teen USA.
Oh,
wow.
Yes. So she's one of the ones that like when they're pitching pageants to people, I guess I'm one of them now too. But when people are recruiting girls to compete in pageants, they're like, you could grow up to be like Vanessa. Well, it was Vanessa Manillo or Kamie Crawford. Or like, it was like you could become this. And so, I obviously have so much respect for her as far as like her career and everything that she's done.
Yeah.
But I think that when you are hosting a reunion or something of that kind of with that many different people and emotions and egos and personalities and feelings, you have to be Switzerland. Like you really
have to be unbiased.
You have to be unbiased and like you can hold people's feet to the fire without
you can ask challenging, provocative questions, but like you have to be unbiased.
You have to be
It's literally
unbiased.
almost like journalism 101 about going back to the basics and being completely unbiased, being completely factual and matter of fact in what you're asking and what you're saying.
Yeah. It's also the manner in which you do things. So I have been seeing people all over TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, tagging me being like, Kamie Crawford should be the next Love is Blind reunion host.
That would be good.
Listen, could you fucking imagine? I think I don't know. I've done so many of my own little live things on stories talking about how I feel about each of the cast members. I don't know if I would qualify at this point to give an unbiased opinion, but, coming from, like I said, I've only hosted one reunion show, but people have said that I have a certain level of, what did they call it? Shady. It's like underlying shade,
You do it really well. I noticed it on where do I feel like you do it on Catfish.
I do.
You do it on Catfish for sure.
Yes. We just filmed when we do like a recap with people after they've been on the show and like 2 months later, like they try to figure out like where are they now, whatever. And we just recently did one where I told the people, I was like, because they pissed me off. But I was just like, you both have so much life ahead of you. So grow up. And, and they were like, thank you.
And just like that.
But for me, I wasn't actually being nice to you. I was telling you that you grow the fuck up. But
just like that.
There's a certain level of like,
it's grace though. You do it with grace.
Got a grace. Graceful
I saw
shade.
you do it. You did it on one of the recent episodes, Kamie, when it was, oh my gosh, which episode was this? One of the episodes I watched and I knew it too. And I was like, Kamie, no, because I was like, these people are trying to play them.
Yeah.
It was when it was the little guy and the really big guy.
Yeah.
I was like, Kamie's about to call this out because this is some BS. I was like, I know she sees straight through it. And I was sitting there watching it. I was like, nah, there's more to this thing.
Yes.
Like,
well, that's because the guy, Justin, we called them out for the fact that we knew that they were bullshitting us. And he said, huh? And I said, if you can, you can hear. So come on, like, and there's ways to, even if you're hosting a reunion and even if the person that you're talking to, you're like, they were dead ass wrong. You could be like, but come on, like, you was wrong for that. Like, and there's a way that you could say it and be like, but was there a reason?
Offensive.
Like, was there something else going on that we didn't see? Like, there's other ways to be able to get out of people the reactions that you're looking for without insulting them.
Shutting them down.
And it shuts them down. And then you don't get anything out of them for the rest of the thing. So,
and then you're having to pull teeth because at that point they're like,
yes. So I'm confident that Vanessa knows what she's doing because she's been doing this for a long time.
Yeah.
But there is, I think, a different muscle that you have to flex from hosting the show to hosting the reunion. Because when you're hosting the show, you're just coming on for certain beats and, introducing, okay, we're going to go wedding dress shopping or we're going to do this today or whatever. Then, even when I do it for X on the Beach and for Are You the One, it's like, there's a different me that shows up when I come in every day and I'm like, okay, this is what the challenge is going to be, to
It's
when
hats.
we, you know, sit down at the matchup ceremony and different people are discussing what's happened throughout the week. And I'm like, okay, so this week you were hooking up with this person, but now I see you over here with her. Like, what's going on? There's an energy, I think, that has to be a little bit softer.
No, that's definite. That's definite.
I agree.
But what do I know?
I'm just the host of 4 TV shows. I know nothing.
I don't know. Just okay. I just show up.
Well, thank you so much, Kamie, for re-recording with us.
Of course.
Seriously.
I feel like we could record for 5 hours if we were given the opportunity.
And we could probably keep going. Yeah.
We could keep going. Like, this is prime girl talk. It's just good. But we're going to wrap it up for the sake of, I guess, time, because we could go all day.
Yes.
So thank you so much for coming again.
Of course.
And where can people find you at on socials?
Well, I'm on all social media platforms pretty much at Kamie Crawford. So Kamie Crawford. And then you can watch Catfish and X on the Beach on MTV. You can watch Are You the One on Paramount Plus. And you can listen to my podcast, Relationshit, on all platforms.
That's right. And we also have our episode that we did with you and Dear Media that's released as well. So people can go and listen to that.
Such a good episode.
It was such a good episode. And then for us, as always, you can find us on YouTube if you want to see us, because we do still have the visuals up for us being virtual. And that's Fill in the Blank podcast on YouTube. You can find us on TikTok, whatever you want to call it. And
yes, period.
Fill in the Blank pod.
The clock.
Yes.
I think that's the name. I always am confused. And now I can't see Asia's face to nod. So Fill in the Blank pod. I think that's what it is. On Instagram is Fill in the Blank _. You can find me at as told by Kayla and Iyanna at
Iyanna.amore.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.